We shall be talking about the difference between share and stock. Both these terms may seem similar, but there is difference between these two. Let us begin with share. Whenever a company needs money, be it a newly formed company at the formation stage or already established company, whenever it needs money, this means it needs more capital. It may be needed for the expansion or whatever reasons. Money is required by the company. That means it needs more and more capital. Now, how is this capital collected? The company tries to collect this required capital from various different people. The whole capital is divided into different parts or small units, and each part or a unit is called a share. As you can see in this circle, we divided into very small parts, and each part you can pick any part of this square and this will represent one share. So when I am investing in shares, this means I am investing in part of that share capital, in which each part or each unit represents one share. Now, different people buy shares, and this is how they contribute to the capital. Supposingly, the company issues 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each. Now, 10,000 different people may be buying them, and so the company will have a collection of 1 lakh rupees. To give 1 lakh rupees for one person may be serious issue, but for so many people, just contributing 10 rupees each is not a big matter. Everybody can do that. So the capital of the company is divided into small units, and each unit is purchased by an individual. An individual can buy more units as well, that is not the problem. But what I'm trying to say is that the company, when it needs money and capital, it comes from the contribution of various people, and it is easy for them to contribute to this capital. So this is how the share are issued, and this is how the company collects the required capital. Coming over to stock. When a person buys large, very large part of these shares, very large part of the ownership of the company, he will be called a stockholder. He buys many shares at one time, then it is called a stock. When you buy one individual unit, you are buying share. When an individual is buying one share, he is called shareholder. When an individual is buying stock here means percentage of ownership of that company, he will be called stockholder. When you buy a share, you buy the ownership and you become the owner. But when you buy the stock, you become the owner of a certain percentage of the ownership of the company. So stock is a very bigger term as compared to a share. I own shares means I own certain number of shares of that particular company. When I say I own stock, this means I own shares of different companies. If I own 100 shares of 5 companies, here I mean I own stock of 5 companies. I own stock means I may be referring to the shares, many shares of various companies. Share is a single unit of stock, okay, and stock is a large part of ownership of that company. Value of each share of company will be the same. Say if I own 20 shares of Godrej at the rate of rupees 20 each, this means each and every 20 shares will be of 20 rupee each. The 20 shares will be of the equal denomination. It cannot be that if I have 20 shares, one share is of 1 rupee, second share is of 10 rupees, third share is of 100 rupees. No. If I am owning 20 shares, so each share has to be of 20 rupees only. Likewise, if you also own the shares of Godrej company and I also own the shares of Godrej company and my share is of 20 rupees, so this automatically means that your each share is also of the 20 rupees. So value of each share of a company is going to be the same. Value of two different stocks may be different. The shares have to be of the identical denomination, but the value of different stocks may be different. Next, shares, they may be or may not be fully paid up. They can be partly paid up also. A 10 rupee share, as you all know, may be 2 rupee on application and the rest on the first call, second call, final call, this goes on. So if 2 rupees has been called up on one share, 8 has yet to be paid, so that will not be called fully paid up, it will be partly paid up. It will turn to fully paid up shares when total 10 rupees have been paid. So the shares may be partly paid up, they may be fully paid up, but stocks are always fully paid up. The shares which are fully paid up, only those shares are later converted to stocks. Now, when the company at the formation stage, it will issue shares. The company at the formation stage cannot issue stocks because stocks are always fully paid up. Fully paid up shares are later converted into stocks. So at the stage of formation, what is issued? Shares are issued. Shares have a nominal value. Stocks do not have a nominal value. Stocks have percentage of ownership. Nominal value, shares, they have their nominal value. Shares are in definite numbers, 10 shares, 20 shares, like this. Stocks, they are not in definite numbers. They are in percentages. If you want to transfer a share, the whole share has to be transferred. If I own one share and I wanted to give it to you, I will give the full one share to you. I cannot keep 10% of that share to me and the rest I pass it on to you. It is not done. The fraction of share is not transferred. If the share has to be transferred, whole share will be transferred. Stocks can be transferred in fraction. If I have a stock of a company, I can transfer 10% of the stock, 20% of the stock, like this. A share is related to a company. When I talk of shares, I usually relate it to one company. But when I talk of stocks, it can be of more than one company. It may be related to various companies. Now here we represent the difference between share and stock in the tabular manner. First of all, the meaning. The financial instrument is a share which represents part of ownership of a company. If I have 500 share denomination of rupees 500, then it means I own the company for 500 rupees. Stock are those financial instruments which represent part ownership in one or more organizations. Nominal value, one nominal value is definitely associated with one share and there is no nominal value which is associated with stocks. Denomination, value of two different shares of a company are equal to each other and value of two different stocks of a company may or may not be equal to each other. Paid up value, shares of a company are either fully paid up or partly paid up. Both these situations can arise. And stock of a company are 100% always fully paid up. Possibility of original issue, shares are a part of original issue and stocks, they are not a part of original issue. Shares are which fully paid up shares are later converted into stock. When we talk of the scope, shares are narrower in scope and stocks have a wider scope. Types, equity shares and preference shares usually, and here stocks are of two types, common stocks and preferred stocks. They can be mid value, large cap value, like this you can subcategorize it. So here I come to the end of the article. I hope I have made the things clear to you. In case you have any doubts or suggestions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section. Kindly like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed.